What's going on, Dolphin fans? It is finally time for my official and final. It's not really a prediction, but what I would do if I was running the Miami Dolphins this offseason. And yeah, we got a 7 round mock draft at the end as well, so stick around for that. And we did plenty of moves, all sorts of moves. So I hope y'all enjoy. Let's get into it. Starting off with our cuts, a lot of this might look similar to the last one. I mean, I recorded it, 2 weeks ago, so it's not going to change too much. But yeah, I did add one cut, and that being Alec Ingold. In my opinion, Alec Ingold doesn't really hold any value to me. He's a 30-year-old fullback. Bobby Slowick likes to have a fullback, but I don't think it's the end all be all. Maybe you draft one late in draft. We'll see what I do. But yeah, to cut Jason Sanders and Alec Ingold to save $7 million to get our cap number up to 6.5 million, I think would be a great move. Tua, you're not going to be able to trade him. You might want to. It ain't happening. So we're going to go ahead and put him as a post June 1st cut, but obviously that will not affect us in anything we do because that will happen post June 1st, believe it or not. So yeah, Tua gone, Alec Ingold gone, Jason Sanders gone. I have three extensions for the Dolphins, starting off with Devon Achan, who is by far to me the most important. Whatever the numbers look like, I just put what it's going to save you. I think Achan will make probably anywhere from 15 to 18 a year. Jordan Brooks probably, I mean, damn near the same range, 15 to 18, and Brewer maybe as well. Honestly, I think all three of them will get fat paydays. But the good part is we have a ton of cap space in 2027 and going forward. So I guess you'll probably restructure all three currently because John Eric Sullivan, the GM, said he is not doing extensions till the summer. So yeah, you can restructure them now, but if you give them an extension in July or August, it won't matter that you restructured them. So yeah, those are the three guys I am prioritizing extending going forward to get our cap number all the way up to 19.7 million. But I'm not done, and I'm not even close to being done because the next person I am calling into the office is right tackle Austin Jackson, and I'm telling him, look, you got no guaranteed money left to your name in Miami. We need you to drop that number as if it was a restructure, but it's not moving money forward. You are just taking $7.3 million of your current salary and putting it into incentive money, saying, hey, maybe if he plays 75% of snaps and the Dolphins' offensive line is top 15 in this metric, and the Dolphins make the playoffs or win 8 games, you can earn all that money back. But as of right now, in the past two seasons, how many games has Austin Jackson played? Over or under, mind you, 34 games worth of 2 seasons. Over under 15. It's probably right around there. That is just ridiculous. He's making too much money. So if Austin wouldn't agree to this, I'll just cut him and look to sign a cheap right tackle in free agency. But I think he's going to play ball. He knows he has no guaranteed money left, so we're going to look to keep him on a reduced salary like Bradley Chubb did last year when he missed a whole season because of his ACL tear. So Austin Jackson saving 7.3 million, changing his contract. Now we're all the way up to 27 million, and I got one more move before we start re-signing and signing new free agents. And that is going to be trading Minkah Fitzpatrick. He just doesn't fit the window. He would be a great veteran to have. I don't see extension happening. So at that point, we kind of got to trade him. The trade I landed on was sending him to Cincinnati. The Bengals have over $70 million in cap space. They need safety help, arguably more than any team in the NFL. So the deal I did, I sent Minkah Fitzpatrick in our 5th round pick, 149, to the Bengals in exchange for 110 and 188. So we pick up a 6th round pick, which we currently don't have, and we move our 5th round pick up to the 4th round. I feel like that's pretty good value for Minka. I mean, I would be totally fine with this since it is kind of been said out loud they are looking to move him. So yeah, I think Minka's time in Miami could already be over once again after a season. And now we go to the re-signs. So interesting. Some of these salaries aren't fully guaranteed in the cap space number. I mean, some I did give fully guaranteed because of how low the number might be, but others I did the veteran minimum, which is I believe 1.25 million. So yeah, I brought back what? I brought back 7 players out of 29 free agents, and 3 of them were on special teams because I thought our special teams played very well. Joe Cardona, I guess I'll start with the special teams to get them out of the way. Joe Cardona didn't really mess up at all. Good long snapper, good veteran to have. 1 year, 1.5, done deal. Jake Bailey was phenomenal this past season out of nowhere. I rewarded him with the 2 year, 6 million contract, guaranteed money is probably the minimum, and then you play around with incentive money to earn your way up to that. Riley Patterson literally just broke the Dolphins record for most accurate field goal kicker in a year, but he can't really kick past 50 yards. I mean, like 55, 57, that's like the max he can go. It's not near what Jason Sanders can do. Sanders just a little too expensive. I can save 1.4 by audibling and going to Riley Patterson. We are in such a money crunch, and Patterson's younger. I think I would actually do that and keep the special teams together for Chris Tabor to come in now and work with. The four, I guess, offensive and defense players, I decided to keep two tight ends. Julian Hill, I would not do the RFA thing. It costs like $5 million. I think you could get him back for 2 years, 6 million. That's about 3 mil per year. The guaranteed money is probably closer to 1.5. So yeah, I decided to bring him back, and Greg Dulcich played actually pretty good for you. Only had like one mistake, the fumble against the Bengals, but yeah, he caught a couple touchdowns, looked good in the offense. So I'd assume Bobby Sloak would like to have him back in the tight end rotation as well. Will Strange, I brought back in. I thought he played okay for being forced to start pretty much the whole year at right guard. Trust me, I am planning to upgrade the guard position in the mock draft. And then, hey, Cater Kohu recently just got cleared, and they deemed him to be healthy after his ACL tear in June last year. So I would like to bring Cater back. I think it would be relatively cheap. We have seen him play very good football in the nickel for you, and I think he would fit Jeff Hafley's defense actually pretty well. So Cater also came back. Before we get into our new signings, let's go ahead and talk about names we decided to let walk. One, Zach Wilson, easy. Chris Greer, terrible contract, but really, what do you expect from Chris Greer? Darren Waller, 34 years old, actually played pretty good whenever he was on the field, wasn't on the field nearly enough. So I would let him go. Brunskill, another one, like 32 years old. Either you bring Strange back or Brunskill, Strange, 4 years younger. I'd probably go Strange. Larry Borum is someone I would really like to have back behind Austin Jackson. The issue is they're talking about Larry Borum getting like 8 million per year, and I just simply would not, cannot, in my gut, give him that type of contract whatsoever with the cap space situation we're in. So I let him walk. Same thing with the Rasul. I love Rasul Douglas. Would love to see him back next year as a good veteran. Rasul's probably making anywhere from like $6 to $10 million next year. That might just be too expensive considering his age and the direction you're trying to go. Jack Jones, to me, it was kind of, do you want Cater Kohu or Jack Jones? Cater, I believe, is a year or two younger. I would probably just keep Cater Kohu. Either way, flip a coin. I'm fine. I think Cater, when they're both healthy, is probably also better. And then the two safeties I let go were Iffy Melifonwu and Ashton Davis. Neither were all particularly that good for the Dolphins this season. So I'll go ahead and wipe my hands clean there and look to move forward. Again, we're kind of rolling on this video, which I assume the mock draft will take a little bit. But yeah, man, I guess we have went through everything we needed to. So now let's go ahead and look at my signings with about 21.2 million. And before I do, you're going to see the salaries, you're going to add up the average and be like, "Hey, you're well over 21.2." It's not really how it works. I mean, normally like half the money I would say affects the cap. You can also push it to a further year, which I gave out multiple year deals. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And yeah, here it is, man. I hope y'all like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. As you can see, my theme was youth, 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 and bet on players to develop. So starting off at tight end, I signed Chig Okonkwo, Titans tight end, to a 2 year, $16 million deal. He felt like a perfect fit for Mike McDaniel's offense. I assume Bobby Slowick is going to run something eerily similar. Greg Dulcich is cool. Julian Hill is also cool. They're depth guys. I think Chig could come in and give you a real chance to start right away. And I would also probably try to structure this to where if it doesn't go well, you can cut him next season. Like I don't know, like Nick Westbrook Akine's contract, where maybe next year it's like 4 dead money, 4 cap space savings. So Chig Okonkwo was my first signing. Next up, we're sticking in the AFC South, and we're going to steal Nick Cross from the Colts. I really don't know what his price tag could be. I feel like 7 million per was a decent price, 2 years, 14 million. Nick Cross is like 24 years old, so this is certainly someone I would want to bank on. He is a very athletic player. He just it feels like have hasn't been able to put everything together in Indianapolis. So yeah, I mean, bring him over to Miami and see. Let's see if we can go ahead and unlock him in the secondary. He's actually your best safety since you let Iffy walk, you let Davis walk, you traded Minka Fitzpatrick. It's literally now just Nick Cross, who I signed, and Dante Trader Jr. So Nick Cross, I thought was a great addition. Same thing with Roger McCreary. This kind of reminds me of the Nate Hobbs signing in Green Bay last year, which unfortunately did not work out because mainly injury. He was injured a lot. But Roger McCreary was pretty good, got traded to the Rams, never really found his footing over there. You already saw the Rams replace him with Trent McDuffie. So, I mean, if he's viewed as a nickel only, potentially struggles, stay on the boundary, and it's just a nice little 2 year, 6 million per, I would absolutely cash that in on Roger McCreary to come in and compete for a starting spot in the cornerback room. Next up, I went with Kingsley Enagbare, Packers edge rusher. Obviously, has familiarity with Jeff Hafley on defense. Right now, it is Chop Robinson and Cam Good. That is terrible. I think at minimum, Enagbare would be very good depth to add to the edge. So, yeah, I went ahead and grabbed him here just for the sake of having bodies on the edge. Then I went to the offense side of the ball once again and grabbed Tyquan Thornton, the Chiefs wide receiver. He didn't have a ton of yards or a ton of catches, but he was very explosive. And also something I like, he's 6 foot to 195 pounds. So he is a outside body that can stretch the field to open the field underneath for Jalen Waddle and Malik Washington. I found a lot of value in that personally. So I went ahead and stole him for 3.5 million from Kansas City, who have way bigger problems on their hand than paying Tyquan Thornton a new contract. Jedrick Wills, it just got reported today. It looks like he took last year off to get healthy. It looks like he is healthy, so I decided to bring him in to just be some insurance at tackle, whether Patrick Paul got hurt, Austin Jackson gets hurt again. Hey, you got Jedrick Wills waiting in the corner to come in and fill a spot. Christian Harris from the Texans has really never got a shot. Really good athlete coming out of Alabama. So I grabbed him to be a third linebacker to pair with Jordan Brooks and Tyrell Dodson. And that put us to 7 million on the cap space number. But before we look at the offense and defense, you might notice I didn't sign a quarterback. That's because I traded for a quarterback. I called up the Chicago Bears and gave them pick 90 in exchange for quarterback Tyson Bagent. Shout out Shepard. That's where I go to school. Shout out Tyson. But yeah, I got back Tyson Bagent and pick 239. Tyson, I feel like the Colts, not the Colts, well, potentially the Colts, and the Cardinals are going to be very interested in him. I'm kind of assuming the Cardinals might go with Malik Willis. Maybe the Colts go with a veteran option to fill in for Daniel Jones. So, yeah, man, I sent our latest third round pick in exchange for Tyson in the seventh. And my thought process here with giving up pick 90 was would I rather have Tyson Bagent or, let's say at pick 90, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Taylon Green, Garrett Nussmeier? I think the answer for all those probably would be Tyson with how he has looked in the preseason. And he just played, or he didn't really play, but sat behind Caleb Williams and has been with Ben Johnson, one of the smartest minds in football. I would go ahead and trade one of those third round picks for him to bring him in for competition with Quinn Ewers, giving you now a quarterback room of Quinn Ewers, Tyson Bagent, and Cam Miller, who you grabbed at the end of season last year, which you can add someone to replace Cam Miller if you want. But yeah, this is the new updated offense depth chart. Obviously, the guys highlighted in white are the players I added, but yeah, I'm assuming your starting offense next year looks like Quinn Ewers, maybe. Obviously, him and Tyson are battling, but Quinn's been here so far, so I gave the nod to him as the starter if we're playing a game tomorrow. So yeah, Quinn Ewers, Devon Achane, three wideouts, Jalen Waddle, Tyquan Thornton, Malik Washington, since you did cut Alec Ingold. Maybe you could take Malik out and put in Ollie Gordon or Jalen Wright and have a 2 RB system starting. Pigaconquo at tight end, and the offensive line remains the same as last year, except now you got Austin Jackson back in replace of Larry Borum. Backups, like I said, Tyson's going to be competing for the starting spot. Already had two good running backs. Didn't look to add one of those. Wide receiver, I definitely will look to add to with Taj and Theo as your 4 and 5, and really Malik and Taekwon as your 2 and 3 isn't great. Tight end, I'm probably good off. I mean, we signed Chigakonkwo to the biggest deal we gave out. Julian Hill we brought back. Greg Dulcich we brought back, so I'm probably not looking tight end. Shedrick Wills grabbed as a swing tackle. Keon Smith's already been here as a swing tackle. And Andrew Meyer actually looked pretty good as a interior depth piece, mainly at center. So this is your new offense for the Miami Dolphins. Let's jump to the defense, which once again highlighted in white are the players I brought in. Your starting defense for Jeff Halfley now looks like Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant, Chop Robinson, Kingsley and Nagbari, Jordan Brooks, Tyrell Dotson, Roger McCreary, Jason Marshall, Cater Kohu, Nick Cross, and Dante Trader. That secondary is terrible. We will probably be drafting early. But you could also, I guess I'll talk about the depth now. Jordan Phillips, arguably a starter if Jeff Halfley rolls out a different look that maybe has Jason Marshall as backup and you just start McCreary and Cater and then have three interior D linemen, like a 3-4, obviously. Zeke Biggers, also out of Georgia Tech, looked pretty good as a rookie. Cam Good, special teamer. I got to add some edge help. Christian Harris, who I signed, is pretty much like a linebacker four to me. Could also draft a linebacker. Door is wide open. And then we have three corners in Juju Brents, Ethan Bonner, who came back on an ERFA deal, and Storm Duck as depth. Like I said, I don't think there's really restrictions. I'll go ahead and tell you the only positions I'm definitely not taking in the mock draft are likely running back, tight end, and interior defensive line. But other than that, everything is open at any single pick. It's really a best player available type of situation. And now, before we jump into the mock draft, let's go ahead and look at what I'm deeming to be your biggest needs and all your picks. So, after the Minka Fitzpatrick trade and the Tyson Bagent trade, we are slated to pick at 11, 43, 75, and 87 in the third, 110 and 111 in the fourth. No fifth round pick, 188 in the sixth, then 227 and 239 in the seventh round, giving you a total of 9 draft picks this year, which I think is amazing. You need to add as many as possible and going forward, which who's to say potentially you don't trade, I don't know, 110 for a third round pick next year, or 188 for a fifth next year, or one of those sevens for a sixth next year, like you did with the Woody Marks trade, where you gave Houston the pick that they ended up taking Woody Marks in the fourth for a future third, which ended up being, I believe, pick 90 that we traded for Tyson Bagent. My priorities in the draft are one, right guard. I do not want Cole Strange to be starting. Cornerback, Jason Marshall, Roger McCreary, Cater. I don't think anything is locked down there. So cornerback, I'll be looking at also. Edge rusher, Nagbari, I'd prefer as a third guy. We need some size on the edge. Wide receiver, we need another depth piece at receiver. And safety would be my fit to just add some depth. So yeah, nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into our 7 round mock draft for the Dolphins. I'll probably turn draft for needs and positional value up, randomness down. But yeah, at the start, I obviously will have to force a couple trades. So before I even look at who has went, we'll go ahead and make the trade with the Bengals. Like I said, 110, 188 for 149. And safety Minka Fitzpatrick. We'll go ahead and push that through. And then we will also go ahead and do the trade with the Bears, which I know it's not updated because the Bears traded DJ Moore today. But we are going to be getting Tyson Bagent for pick 90 and 239. And I believe that should give us 1143. Yeah, we have all our picks now. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And let's look first at how the board fell. Don't really care the order they go in, more about who goes. Fernando Mendoza, he will be gone. Reese will be gone. Love, gone. Ruben Bain, I think, will be gone. Maui Noah, gone. Sonny Styles, gone. Bailey, gone. Tate, gone. Delane, gone. Downs, gone. I think that's a very realistic top 10 that you see go before the Dolphins pick. So, what do I want to do at 11? First, we'll talk about my top need. Spencer Fano really does intrigue me to come in and start at right guard, potentially because his arms were, 32 and 1/8, so he might project better as a guard to begin with. But he also gives you the flexibility to play tackle if Austin Jackson gets hurt, Patrick Paul gets hurt. He's played both tackle positions in college, so I do want to point that out here. We'll slide that over just a little bit for y'all so you can see better. And yeah, another name, Vega Ioane, can be a plug and play guard. He has guard experience at both spots, whether he plays left guard and you move Jonah to right, or he just comes in and plays right guard. I like both options a ton. Monroe Freeling, probably not personally for me. I don't really see the value in sitting a tackle with the current state of the roster. Jermon McCoy, it's been over 450 days since Jermon McCoy has played football. I am not taking him 11th overall. So I'll just go ahead and say that. Any other corner, probably not taken here. So yeah, I think the choice will come down to edge rusher. You're talking about like Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker. I'm not taking Akeem Mesidor, maybe Zion Young. Not taking those guys 11th. So yeah, I think I'm going to kick off our mock draft with Spencer Fano out of Utah, who can come in, start for you at right guard, like I said, and then potentially be your right tackle of the future going forward. And man, oh man, I am already seeing some good value. And like I said, my priority, English, number two, was getting a boundary corner. Brandon Cisse, if he fell here, I would have a hell of a time passing on him. Same thing with Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. I like both those corners a ton. Funny enough, I'm higher on Chris Johnson, and he'll probably go lower. Safety, I would also look at. AJ Halsey's here. I really like AJ Halsey. Don't think I would take him 43rd overall, in my opinion. Edge rusher, I love me some Derek Moore. I like Gabe Akis, Malachi Lawrence. My eyes, I guess, would be set on adding one in the third round, like hoping Denied Dennis Sutton could fall to 75, or maybe Derek Moore falls, or maybe I have to audible to LT Overton or Kieran Crawford for depth. But yeah, like I said, with the boundary corners that are available, it's hard to pass on them. Just for the sake of realism, I think there's a real shot Brandon Cisse goes in the back end of the first round. So we'll go Chris Johnson out of San Diego State to get us a starting boundary corner. Let's go ahead. Like I said, priority three was edge rusher. Oh, damn. We didn't get help. Denied Dennis Sutton is gone. Um, man, that sucks. Anthony Lucas is another player I am very high on, potentially taking at 87 or maybe 110 if he could fall. Linebacker, I would also look at. Like I said, you got Jordan Brooks. Tyrell Dotson, I don't think has to be penciled in as a starter. Ant Hill has fell. I mean, if Anthony Hill was here in real life, like my kind of dream scenario is he is with Jeff Hafley because I think he fits perfectly just the style of linebacker he is. Offense, I guess we'll take a look at receiver. Malachi Fields is also here. Um, APFF finally boosted up Ted Hurst. Shout out. Tackle, there's nothing I'm taking a shot on. So I'm probably looking Malachi Fields, Anthony Hill, because linebacker I think could fall realistically. What's popping at safety? Genesis Smith is all athlete. I'm not really a big Genesis Smith guy. I think I am going to go with Anthony Hill. He's super young. If you can get 2024 version of Anthony Hill, you're going to get a stud to go along with Jordan Brooks. And I don't think it's too far fetched that he could fall to the mid third round, considering he is a pretty stiff athlete. He's not very great in coverage. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas at pick 75. Why Max Clare is still here, I don't know, but it's getting tempting, I will say. Keelan Rutledge, I love to death. Keelan Rutledge, I'd almost consider because he could start at right guard, and then Fano could just be. No, I can't do that. It just doesn't. It goes against everything I said at the start. Malachi Fields, yeah, I know he's slow. He ran a 4.6. I don't know if he's here at 87 in real life. Um, there's a couple receiver options I do like. Edge rusher is such a need though. Like, I think the theme with this draft might be a lot of upside. LT Overton definitely fits that mold of going with the upside. I kind of like does PFF let players? I mean, Max Clare is falling, so I guess it is possible Anthony Lucas can get to us at 110, which I would really, really like. Zakee Wheatley could be a fun option to plug at the top of the defense. Jalen Kilgore, if he made it here, I would love to add to safety. So yeah, I'm looking Jalen Kilgore. LT Overton's not a bad upside option whatsoever. I think I'm going to go with Ted Hurst out of Georgia State. I mean, I really am very high on Ted Hurst as a prospect. Just a very good athlete on the outside of your wide receiver room now. Good size, 6'3", 207 pounds. Good frame, too. Good hands, pretty good route runner. I am really all in on Ted Hurst, regardless of where he went to school. I would love to see him added to pair with Jalen Waddle, Tyquan Thornton, and Malik Washington in my own world here. All right, 110. Life is getting tough at the edge position. It might be a bad year. Like Tyreek Sapp here, honestly, I'm going to flip to my own rankings to make sure I'm taking my top guy. Jay Sean Barham's the DPR, Romello Height DPR. Like Kieran Crawford, I didn't think would go that high. Hayden Curry has a ton of production at Ohio State. He's a pretty good run defender. So I really wouldn't mind him at all. And we have back to back picks, so he will be the first selection at 110 to add some help to the edge room. Where else am I looking? Safety. Key Wheatley has fallen, and I'm not going to say it's unrealistic because safety does tend to fall in the draft quite a bit. Quarterback, like I said, we traded one of our thirds for Tyson Bagent. I don't want to also spend a fourth on quarterback. Key Wheatley's older prospect as well, already, I believe, 24. Cole Wisnowski, I like a lot too. Is there any tight end I could use as like a hybrid? Like Michael Trigg and Justin Jolie. Galen Bentley kind of as well might be able to fit that role. Just you want people that can block their butts off. Justin Jolie and Dalen Bentley, and I have seen the Dolphins keep four tight ends under roster going into the season. So if one of those guys is used mainly as a fullback, I could see it. Like I said, no quarterback, wide receiver we took, no tight end probably not, running back no. Trey Zune would be very good depth for the interior offensive line. Brian Parker is kind of just like a jack of all trades, can really play anywhere. It is the fourth round, so you got to start talking about depth. I think I am going to go Zakee Wheatley out of Penn State. I mean, if he fell to this point in the draft, I think that would probably be a layup, in my opinion, if he's on the board. And yeah, I know it took a while to do it, but truly, he is a very good safety. He's the top 10 safety, in my opinion, in the draft. So yeah, if he's here, I would do so. Jaden Roberts is someone I actually am a little higher on than probably most people. Micah Morris as well. Micah Morris, I'm like a lot higher on than most people. So yeah, if Micah Morris is here to add some interior guard depth, I think I'd probably sprint the card in on that option to grab in the sixth round. Here's your fullback. I mean, if you want one, this is probably the best one in the draft. It's probably a realistic range as well. You know what? Like, I really wouldn't be mad. Like, we're not taking special teams. Quarterback, I guess we probably will spend one of these seventh round picks on, potentially. I mean, I like Cam Miller, honestly. I wouldn't mind. We've doubled down on offense line, grabbed a linebacker. We could add more in the secondary. Like Sire Wright's a player I do like. Amari Harvey, I like. Avery Smith, I like. I think we actually are going to go with the fullback out of Navy, Eli Haydenrich. Don't know if I said that right, but he will be the pick. And here at 239 to end off the Dolphin, my official 7 round mock draft of what I would do if I was the Miami Dolphins. Corner, I'm thinking about grabbing another. Like, I'm pretty fine with Cam Miller being the third guy competing. There are some good, like Taylor Green will be gone because of athleticism. Jalen Daniels to me is probably a UDFA you could sign. Cole Payton probably gone by this point in the draft, in my opinion. Luke Altmaier and Sawyer Robertson could be realistic. I don't know if I want either one of those guys. Tight end, I'm good. I've already passed so much. I think Amari Harvey might be my guy to just add some depth. I mean, we have depth at corner, so maybe not. Honestly, maybe it's another edge rusher like a Patrick Payton who can add some decent size. Logan Fano, I did last time as a fun little story to add with his brother Spencer. Maybe he's a UDFA pickup, but I do think I am going to go Patrick Payton out of LSU to end off my official off-season game plan for the Miami Dolphins of what I would do and now their 7 round mock draft as well. Let's go ahead and get a full screen of what I did. There you go. Can't really see that. There we go. Y'all let me know in the comments what you thought of this offseason game plan. Yay, nay. Who are some people you're looking at picking up in free agency and in the draft? And like I said, like and subscribe as well. Hope y'all have a good one, man. Peace out.